everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Titan Joker. This is the Amazon exclusive glow-in-the-dark gold label edition. I pre-ordered this thing, got delayed, and it finally arrived today. And when they first put this thing up, they were charging $30. It's supposed to be $50, so I feel pretty fortunate to have gotten it early. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see, this is part of the gold label collection. A gold label figure is simply a retailer exclusive, whether it be Target or Walmart. This particular gold label is an Amazon exclusive. DC, the Joker Titan from Batman Arkham Asylum, glow-in-the-dark edition. McFarlane Toys, limited to 3,000 pieces. One side of the package, Titan Joker glow-in-the-dark. Other side, pretty much blank. At the back side, here's the Titan Joker. And at the bottom, we have a bunch of credits, and there's the barcode. So this is one of McFarlane's deluxe figures. Pull off the outer sleeve and expose the figure. So with no further ado, let's open him up. And of course, I did get two of these figures, one of which to open and enjoy, and the other one to keep unopened in my complete Batman-related unopened action figure collection. And here's the new glow-in-the-dark Titan Joker next to the original Mega figure release. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He doesn't come in the traditional accessories. He has a display stand, a collector's card, and then a display stand for the collector's card. But before we take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is a Titan Joker from the end of Arkham Asylum. This is a deluxe Mega figure, and this is the glow-in-the-dark gold label Amazon exclusive. Titan Joker was the final boss at the end of Arkham Asylum. Joker and Batman were fighting. Joker injected both himself and Batman with the Titan formula. The Joker got very, very big. Batman resisted the change and decided to fight him as a regular person. The Titan formula is sort of a mixture of Venom and some other stuff. Titan, it'll make you big and giant, and kind of green and monstrous. So let's take a look. Start with his face here. It looks fantastic. It looks sinister. The paint job is excellent. He has white skin, got the red lips, really popping and contrasting. Then you have all that green glow-in-the-dark stuff on top of that. He has a spiked mohawk. I believe with the mohawk, he is the tallest Mega figure out there. He has all the sort of rips in his flesh, all these exposed wounds. Some of them are even on his butterfly joint here. It actually all looks very good. You can see his veins all done in green. I bet all that glows in the dark. We'll check that out in just a little bit. You can see remnants of his purple shirt here. He's got purple shorts ripped up, more wounds. He's got a belt there. Double jointed elbows. You can see his bones protruding out, sticking out. Exposed flesh and wounds all over his body. Now he's got these spikes on his back, and one of them is severely bent. It was shoved into the packaging. We'll correct that here shortly as well. Double jointed knees. I remember this guy always had sort of loose ankles. He's very, very top heavy, but it wasn't that big of a deal to stand. Gotta get it just right though. Texture is pretty nice on his clothing. As a whole, I think it's a great figure. Looks fantastic. I do think DC Direct maybe did a little bit better job. We'll check that out later in the video as well. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. It looks very sinister, well sculpted, well painted, a lot of detail going on here. And just a little comment about this guy. Now, he looks really good, intricate, good sculpt, good paint, but a lot of inaccuracies. He should have longer fingernails. He should have ribs protruding out of his chest area. He should have more bones poking out. Figure looks good, but they kind of took the easy route on some of the accessories and details. And I want to give a huge shout out to my boy Albert. He's one of my subscribers. He posted a really cool Joker diorama he did on Instagram. I asked him if he could do one for me, and he did. And it was bigger and better than his, and I appreciate it. This is one of the gems of my collection. Now for his accessories. Let's start off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. Typically McFarlane stand. It's black, very basic, very flat, but this one has an Arkham logo on it, which is a very nice touch. I'm sure that Arkham stuff is glow in the dark. I can tell by the way it feels. Now for his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of Titan Joker. The Joker Titan glow-in-the-dark edition. On the back side, certificate of authenticity. This is number 1893 of 3000. Then we also have this little display stand that the card's going to go into. I can tell it's going to have glow-in-the-dark paint at the front. And if you want to put the collector's card into its display stand, it'll look like this. Doesn't do much for me, but if you want to display your figures this way, there you go. Here's the original Titan Joker's collector's card on the left, next to the new one on the right. The original one had a picture of the actual action figure, and on the right is some sort of drawing that I assume McFarlane's team made. Now let's go ahead and fix his spine. As you can see, some of his bones are severely warped, especially this one here. It's because they just sort of shoved in the package and it was bent the wrong way. I bet all the Titan Jokers, the glow-in-the-dark versions, are like this. I'm going to get a hairdryer, heat him up, fix that thing. He's way too big for boiling water. So I took a hairdryer, heated up his spines, then I sort of held them in a straight position, ran some cool water over them as they cooled down, and they look a lot better. Not perfect, but a whole hell of a lot better. Now let's check out his glow-in-the-dark feature. Glow-in-the-dark toys are different nowadays than when I was a kid. When I was a kid, you just put them in a fully lit room and they glow in the dark. Nowadays, indoor lights don't seem to do much for them. But if you hit them with a strong black light, they charge up real quick and then glow very fiercely. I got this black light flashlight from Amazon. Here's the figure without any charge in a fully lit room. Here he is in a fully lit room with the black light on him. Not sure how well you can see that in person. The veins on his chest and arms look fantastic, fully lit up. Here's the Titan Joker glowing in a completely dark room. Looks great. And here he is glowing in a semi-lit room. And even his accessories have some glow-in-the-dark features. Not the actual card, but both the display stands. Now I wanted to check out the differences between this Amazon exclusive glow-in-the-dark Titan Joker and the standard McFarlane release. There are some things that are better on the glow-in-the-dark version, and some things that are better on the original version. I'd say as a whole, I think I prefer the original version. You can see a lot more of the detail, but some of the detail comes out when he's glowing in the dark or under black light. Like I said, they're both really cool for different reasons. It's 100% the same figure, same sculpt, same articulation, just a different paint job. So let's take a look. Starting with their heads, you can see just a lot more sort of paint detail on this guy. A lot of it is just sort of covered up with the glow-in-the-dark paint here. They both look fantastic. I feel like this one's a little bit more sinister and creepy. Darkness around the eyes, the smile, mohawk, very similar. The spine, also very similar, but this sort of green part back here is a lot more prominent on the original version. It's there on this guy. The wounds, they actually look very different. Look at how this one looks compared to this one. This one's pretty similar. He doesn't have the wound here. A lot of differences. A lot more than I expected. I mean, look here, just a little dot here. Fully all over the place here. Even different in his torso area. As we go further down, it's painted on the legs on the original version and wounds, but nothing on the glow-in-the-dark version. Just kind of interesting. Makes it seem a little bland on this guy here. On the backside, pretty clean figure considering how many bloody spots he has in front. He should have some on the back. I also wanted to check out the differences between this McFarlane version and the original DC Direct version. I personally think the DC Direct version looks quite a bit better. He's bigger, better sculpt, better paint job, but quite inferior articulation. Once again, let's take a look. Start with their heads. They both look great, but man, look at that. Very well done. The mohawk, the smile, paint job, tremendous, amazing. Him, it's also good, but not as good. As you go further down, you can just see how much bigger and bulkier this guy is, much more muscular. The spikes sticking out of his arms makes this guy look like a child. Look at that stuff, looks amazing. The spines, much more prominent, better detailed on this guy. The fingernails, I mean, look at the difference. DC Direct did an awesome job on the sculpt there. Spikes on the knee, not too much different. I'm going to have to give it up for DC Direct on this one. Even though his articulation is quite limited, it is a better sculpt for sure. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing right at 11 inches tall, which can translate to about 28 centimeters. And if you go to the top of his mohawk, about 11.75 inches tall. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head, of course, it can rotate from side to side. He can look up and down a very good amount. Can tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes at a good 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. He does have this butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest area, increasing the range of motion and covering that large gap that would be there. No bicep cut. He has double jointed elbows. They go all the way in. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged. In his torso, he's got a ball joint. Rotate around, at least a little bit, forward and back. In his waist, he has another ball joint. Rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, good range of motion, but kind of limited there. Legs complete of splits, McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation is very good on this guy. Legs go forward about that much. It does kind of combine with the ball joint there. Back, not much. Double jointed knees, they go all the way in. Then his ankle, forward and back. Rotate, tilt, rock, and of course, to articulation. So the story's going to start off with Batman escorting Joker through the halls of Arkham Asylum. But Joker has made it far too easy. And of course, before long, the Joker ends up escaping. It's all Potter's master plan to take over the asylum. Later that night, the Joker confronts Batman with a few of his thugs. They all have their guns trained on Batman. But instead of shooting at Batman, Joker turns around and fires his weapon at the various thugs. Not out of character for Joker, but it's not what you think. The Joker injected his thugs with a Titan formula. Now Batman has to deal with 3 tightened up Joker thugs. Quite the game changer. A while later, Joker is confronting Batman, about to shoot him with the Titan formula. The Joker quickly changes his mind and injects himself. And then you have Batman fighting the Titan Joker. Mutated, enormous, disgusting, threatening. How's Batman ever gonna win? Now let's check them out. Next is some other action figures. Starting off with some other Arkham Asylum or Arkham video game Joker figures. Here's this Amazon exclusive glow-in-the-dark Titan Joker. Next, McFarlane's original version. They're both really cool figures. So which one is better? The original or the glow-in-the-dark version? Now honestly, looking at both of them, there are things that are better on each one. Look at the wounds on the top of the glow-in-the-dark version. They're much bigger, more massive, more filled in. Then again, look at the wounds on the bottom. They're completely absent on the glow-in-the-dark version. There are things I like more about the regular, things I like more about the glow-in-the-dark version. The glow-in-the-dark version, it just looks cooler, but the original one I think has a little better paint job as a whole and is more accurate, so I'm going to have to give it to the original one here. A closer look at both their faces. I think the original one has a better paint job, more attention to detail, looks a little creepier. And here he is, next to the DC Direct or DC Collectibles version, which I'm going to have to say is a superior figure, at least visually. Articulation is a lot more limited, but he looks a lot better, bigger, more massive. And while we're on the subject of the DC Direct Titan Joker, way back when that thing came out, I ordered a couple of them. I was wanting to make a tightened up Joker Thug as well as have the tightened up actual Joker. When I got those 2 figures, they were both broken in the package. So I ended up messaging the guy, let him know what happened. He let me keep them and sold me a couple others at a deep discount. So I ended up with 4 open Titan Jokers and decided to do some customizing. Well, I never actually fully got around to it, so my boy Tony Strain made these for me. He made these as tightened up Joker henchmen. We have one here with a mohawk, repainted in flesh. Another one here, bald, repainted in flesh with different color shorts. And then the last one here is a tightened up Harley Quinn thug from the DLC in Arkham City. Now, I absolutely love these guys. Very unique in my collection. Very awesome looking. I do kind of wish, if I knew McFarlane was going to make one all these years ago, they would have made a better Titan Joker henchman because they're a little bit smaller. Would have loved to have had a few of these guys repainted like this and with a very big Titan Joker in the middle. Still, either way, so happy to have these in my collection. They are awesome. Here are all the different Titan Jokers I have that are out of the package. We have 4 of the DC Direct versions, 3 of which are customized, and then 2 of the McFarlane versions. Fantastic group of Jokers. Here he is, next to McFarlane's standard Arkham Asylum Joker. He goes from that to this big Titan thing. I've actually made 3 variations of the Arkham Asylum Joker. we have the sort of tightened up version, got Titan all over him, then the standard version, then the bronze version. And I guess if we count these tightened up versions, we have a total of 5 Joker figures from Arkham Asylum by McFarlane Toys. They also made a version from Arkham City. This is the sick version. Here he is, next to DC Direct's version of the Arkham Asylum Joker. DC Direct also made a version from Arkham Origins and a sick version from Arkham City. Then, next to Mattel's version of the sick Joker from Arkham City. And now, here's this Joker next to Batman from Arkham Asylum. They also made 3 versions of this Batman, the one with mud and Titan all over him, the regular one, and the Platinum Chase bronze version. Here he is, next to Killer Croc from Arkham Asylum. Here is McFarlane's entire Arkham Asylum collection. There are still plenty of characters they can make from each of the games. In Arkham Asylum, it'd be Scarecrow, Poison Ivy, and Mr. Zsasz. I hope they do all of them eventually. And here he is, next to McFarlane's entire Arkham City collection. Then, next to McFarlane's entire Arkham Origins collection, just the one character, Deathstroke. And now, next to McFarlane's entire Arkham Knight collection. Now let's check him out, next to some other McFarlane Joker figures. Here he is, next to the Rebirth Joker. And here he is, next to the Batman 3 Jokers. Then, with the Infinite Frontier Joker. And now, with the Death of the Family Joker. Here he is, next to the Dark Knight Returns Joker. Then, with the Dark Knight Trilogy, Heath Ledger Joker. And now, with the DC vs. Vampires Vampire Joker. And even though it's not exactly part of the Multiverse line, here he is, next to the Mortal Kombat 11 Joker. Here are absolutely all of the McFarlane DC Multiverse Joker figures. The next one I'm aware of that's coming out is going to be the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive Deadly Duo Joker. He looks pretty cool. And while this is not exactly the Joker, here he is, next to the Joker Dragon. Now let's check him out, next to some other glow-in-the-dark figures. Here are the rest of the Amazon exclusive Gold Label, glow-in-the-dark McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. We have the Titan Joker, the Infected Batman, John Stewart Green Lantern, and Swamp Thing. Can't wait to find out what's coming next. These guys are gimmicky, but it's actually pretty cool. And here he is, next to some NECA glow-in-the-dark alien figures. Then, next to some NECA Universal Monsters glow-in-the-dark figures. And now, next to some older Kenner Swamp Thing glow-in-the-dark figures. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. Yes, even though he's 11 inches or so, he is a 7-inch scale figure, and I'm going to include as many Joker figures as I can during these comparisons. Here he is, next to some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all of McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And here he is, next to some Jakks Pacific, and some DST or Diamond Select toys. Here's the Titan Joker, next to a stick of butter. Then, with some DC Direct, and some NECA figures. And now, next to some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. Here he is, next to both some Mezco and Mattel Joker figures. Then, next to some Defects and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figure Arts figures and some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this is a fantastic Titan Joker figure. The glow-in-the-dark feature is excellent. It looks awesome. It's a lot of fun. Sculpt and paint job, fantastic. His accessories, well, they're non-existent. His size is amazing. He is the biggest McFarlane DC Multiverse figure with the exception of Star the Conqueror. But I will say, I think I prefer the regular one to this one by just a tad. Say we're to rate the regular one an 8.5 out of 10, I'd rate this one an 8. The other one is just a little more accurate, has better paint job, a little more realistic looking. But this one is just really cool too. And the fact that he's infected with Titan, the fact that he's repainted in sort of a green tint, it works perfect for this guy. I will say, I like the DC Direct one even better than the regular McFarlane version because he's bigger and way better detailed. Still, they're all absolutely awesome figures. I love these oversized deluxe figures. They're a lot of fun. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, head to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.